Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever it is that you are tuning in from. Very much appreciate you for doing so. Whether it be on one of the Spotify, podcast platforms, Spotify, Google, TuneIn, Stitcher, I think it is one of them. Um, Maybe Kit. Can you confirm? I can't remember all the list.
It is. It is one. Yeah. So we have Spotify, Google, Amazon, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Podbean.
There you go. And then anybody that's tuning in on YouTube as well. But anybody who's here live, we appreciate you very much for coming out. Welcome to another episode of Rising Lights. And this one's kind of another special one. In a sense of, firstly, the last special one we had like 15th episode on the 15th of last month. And then this month we've got the 20th episode on the 20th of this month. But then
We didn't plan this.
Yeah, we didn't plan this at all. But hey, there you go. Obviously we've got Kit, my co-host. If you want to say hello, Kit.
Hi guys. Although you already know I'm here, I've been here the last 19.
And then joining us this week, kind of what makes it a little bit of a special one as well is he's just got his affiliate. I believe it was last week, if I'm not mistaken, Kirby.
Oh, the truth, I have no clue. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. Hello.
But yeah, so Kirby here is a good friend of the channel, has been supporting like not only me but all the other guys in the Just Wipe It crew basically since I met him. Like I met him through the Just Wipe It crew, so very much appreciate that, Kirby. So the least we could do when you decided you was gonna start streaming was, drop those looks, help you out a little bit. Okay, so before I forget, let's go in.
Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.
So yeah, before we go any further and I get sidetracked, let's go into the music. So as usual, we came into one of the part of the plan songs. The one we came into was Reach. You can see the band on screen right now. Again, we had Cody, who's the lead singer, right here in the middle. We had him on episode 4 of the podcast. I'm putting !Cody in my chat right now. Gives you a little bit of information about him, the band, and then we've also got !POTP, which another command to do with just like the band and checking out their music on Spotify. And then also a clip from when we had Cody, or Wraithbound as it says in the !Cody command, on episode 4 of the podcast. We asked him what their stance was, the band as a whole, on content creators using their music, whether they like the idea, whether they get why DMCA is a thing, and if for whatever reason they were approached by a major label, would they want to have it so that content creators can no longer use their music, or would there be like some sort of conversation there where they want their music to be able to be used by creators, you know what I mean? And so he basically just turned around and went, yeah, they love people using their music, and have at it. They love seeing what people come up with in montages and stuff, like YouTube video wise, but then also as background music for streams. And there is quite a variation in the music, although it is all rock band based. There's quite a variation in styles in some of the albums, so I very much appreciate it if people go and check them out. I at one point, and I think it's probably slowed down a bit because I've not been listening to the playlist I've got of their music as often, but I at one point was contributing for about 10% of their Spotify listens just on myself through playing it through streaming. So goes to show you. And now with that out of the way, let's get into Monsieur Kirby, or Senor Kirby, should I say, and who you are, and like what made you want to start streaming, how long you've been gaming, that kind of thing.
All right, who am I? Who am I? That's a tough question. Seriously. Uh, just someone who enjoys gaming, like your regular Joe. Let's call it that. Yeah. About streaming. Hey, child, sub bud. Say hello to child. By the way, he's a friend of mine. I brought him here.
Hey,
Yeah. So
child.
moving on. First off, I didn't start like taking streaming too seriously when I started. I started with YouTube, was doing a video here and there. Then, as I moved with YouTube, as I progressed, I decided like, I could try and do streaming. And then, yeah, first off, when I started, I wasn't Kirby. I was, my original tag was challenging the game. Because at first, when I started, my objective was to make only YouTube videos where I would just do challenges in games. But then, as I started doing those challenges, I thought to myself, "Yeah, this isn't fun. It's fun, but at the same time, it's just too exhausting." And I wanted to do things just for fun. Then I started like doing some montages here and there, and then it progressed to Twitch. And the story about my tag, Senor Kirby, it was there was one day that child, he's a good friend of mine. He was in my place. We were just chatting, and we were talking about the fact that I heat my food like Kirby. I don't chew it. I just swallow it, basically. We were joking about it, and he looked at me. You should be called Senor Kirby. As he said it, I looked at him. Well, he just gave me an idea, and that's how Kirby was born, basically.
Hey.
uh, and that's basically it. Yeah.
Oh,
Anything else that you want to know, like specific?
nah, not really. It's just a little quick introduction. People can kind of get a feel for what
Yeah,
sort
that
of
was my
thing.
quick. Sorry
So,
about that.
one or two things that we want to like ask is like what sort of, obviously you play Destiny because it's a big part of this podcast.
Yeah,
I know personally that
yeah.
you play quite a fair bit of Apex, and I must say, as I've said before, in I think it was Odysseus chat, or it might have been Wiggs. No, it was Wiggs chat. You're actually a very good Mirage player, from what I've seen. Hey, speaking of Otis,
I
and
wouldn't say I wouldn't say good. Yo, Otis. I wouldn't say good. I have my moments, and Mirage is fun to play with. Like, if you want to have
but
fun, I always say this: if you want to have fun in Apex, play Mirage. It is awesome. If you want to
but
be a
what other
douchebag,
games? What
play
other games
Caustic.
do you play?
I, I play a little bit of everything. As long as the game calls out to me, I will play it. Like you probably have seen it. I used to stream a little bit of Monster Hunter as well, because
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World, and yeah, that's a great game. I never played Monster. No, I'm lying. I actually played a little bit of Monster Hunter on the PSP. Then World came out, and I bought it, and I fell in love with that game. Like it's basically in terms of role playing, hunting, everything he has. It's a great game. Other
Yeah.
than that, you'll probably see me playing some solo, some story driven games like for example, God of War. I played
God
it,
damn it,
loved it.
Dunes. That luckily that doesn't appear on the VOD, but he just played the sound effect. Say hello to my little friend.
Yes, Shad, we should go back because we still need to kill the big boss, the final boss of the game that is Alatrion, and it's a pain in the ass. Like that's basically the end game right now because they stopped doing
Yeah. See,
launching
I
DLCs.
played Monster
Yeah,
Hunter back on PSP. Started with Monster Hunter 2, then Freedom 2 even, and then Freedom Unite.
yeah.
And then after that they went to the Wii for a bit with the Monster Hunter 3, and then with
Hmm.
like 3G, I think it was called, or Free
Third
Unite or
generation,
something.
if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, they did
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
another one. They did another one where they put it on like 2DS or something.
Yeah, that's.
I had
I think that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that one, and then I had free 4G or whatever, 4 Unite or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
No, it's Free Ultimate and 4 Ultimate. That's the one. They're the ones I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
They were on the
That's it.
handhelds, and then 4 and 4 Ultimate were one in the same over here because one was on. They were both on the Wii U and the 2DS, and you could play like cross-platform.
That was cool.
But then when World came out, I bought it, like pre-ordered it,
Yeah.
and played it a whole bunch for the first like week, and then got bored. And I was like, this is too easy in comparison to the old ones. And then
Yeah,
with
in the
Iceborne, they were like, do you know what? We're gonna bring some of the difficulty back. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna pre-order that, and I did. Um,
yeah.
and so
But
I pre-ordered
even
that and played, as much of the base game as I could to get ready for Iceborne, and I was ready for it like basically as soon as it came out. It's like the day before or something. I finished everything that was in the main story of the base game. Um, so then Iceborne came out, and the intro mission when you first go into the snow area before you get into the town. I forget what the
mhm,
town's called in Iceborne, but um,
Asteria? I forgot. Yeah.
the
No,
snow
Asteria is
one
the
anyway.
main one.
Yeah, where you go
Yeah.
from Asteria to the other one. I got stuck fighting the bloody snow
The
fish thing.
Bamboro. I know you fight the fish first. I forgot its
Oh no,
name.
it might be the
But
I don't know. Anyway, I got stuck
I
fighting
think
that because I didn't have
yeah,
fire weapons and nobody I was playing with was
yeah,
playing the game. So it's like I couldn't like easily farm. Um,
yeah. I
what's
I
that?
I had a sort of a painful experience with Monster Hunter because before right now I have the PS4 Slim, but before I had this one, I had the normal PS4. He had some problems, and I had to send it to repair, and then I got the Slim. And as I was passing all the games to the new one, when I went to Monster Hunter World, I basically lost everything. I completed the base game. I did a shit ton of tempered elder dragons, some arc tempered elder dragons, which are even more powerful than the normal ones. And a tempered dragon is not an easy task.
Yeah, I haven't done them
And I
at all. I haven't
lost.
touched them. I got
And
bored
I
before.
lost. Oh, listen. If there's one thing that I'm gonna do at least in Monster Hunter. I have one objective: to solo every arc tempered elder dragon that I have access to, and to create a solo build for each and single weapon, because you have 12 weapons in the game. Create a build for each one of them, and try and solo the big bad boss Alatrion, which is not easy, and I'm not the best one to do that type of stuff. I'm probably gonna regret it, but yeah. But still, Monster Hunter is a great game. And if you
Yeah.
have the chance, if you ever get back to it, let me know.
Well, I thought about when I saw Katie Cat playing it on PC. I thought about like getting it on PC, but then I saw how much it was. I was like, it's still full price. I'm like,
Yeah,
can I really
it is.
justify paying that? Plus, then on the top, paying for the DLC, and then I've got to start all over again. Nah.
Yeah. For me, it would be the fact that I will have to
I'm
do everything
spoiled.
again.
I'm spoiled by Destiny, to be honest, with crossplay, cross save even. It's the same with
Oh
like
yeah,
same with Warframe. So like, a friend of mine in Kit's Hans and another friend, Fiend, have recently been getting like back into playing it, and they've got Kit playing it, and they were like, "Oh, are you gonna come and play?" I was like, "No." They're like, "Why?" I was like, "No cross-platform." They're like, "Yeah, just start again." I was like, "Yeah, no cross save. Fuck that." And they were like,
yeah,
"No, like just start again." I was like, "I was mastery rank 21 on Xbox. Hours upon hours, like thousands, I think, of hours. I'd have to go back and check. Of hours played. I actually did,
grinding.
and I'd also forgotten my login stuff. So it's like, yeah, I'm not starting again. Fuck that, because I did have a PC account before I played on Xbox. I went through the whole recovery process, and I've got my stuff back, which Fiend doesn't know, Kit. So don't say anything unless he's watching right now. He won't know.
You know that'll be included in the podcast, right? If he
Yeah.
decides to bring these.
Something
edit.
tells me he doesn't watch them or listen to them, so I think we're good. But anyway, and I thought I was mastery rank 8 on PC before I left. I wasn't. I was mastery rank 6. So it's like I've got even further to fucking go. Hell no. I spent so much time and like at the time, you know, all those years ago, money on being able to get to where I was on Xbox. Like no cross save, no cross platform. Yeah, you very much will doubtfully see me on Warframe. If I'm playing Warframe and streaming it, for instance, you better believe I'm streaming it through my Xbox. Like, so.
For
But
me,
yeah,
it would be the
so
same.
what made you go from like, because obviously YouTube has its because I'm circling back to you quick, like
Let's make it
obviously
up.
you've got YouTube's got its own like live thing.
Yeah.
What made you come over to Twitch and decide to stream here rather than, you know, doing it on YouTube?
Well, at the time when I started, because I started streaming on Twitch around, I would say 2, 3 years ago, and I don't think that at the time YouTube had the streaming service,
I might
or
have
if they
just said
had,
it. I might have just
It
been
did,
yeah,
but it really wasn't well known.
yeah. So yeah, I probably didn't know about it, and the most known streaming platform is Twitch. So yeah, if I'm gonna start somewhere streaming somewhere, I'm gonna start with Twitch. I did try. I did not try. I was thinking about streaming in the old one that got closed.
Mixer.
Mixer, exactly. Thank you. I was trying to thinking. I mean, of streaming in Mixer, then everything crashed, and Mixer got bought by Facebook, right? And now it's Facebook Gaming, if I'm not wrong.
Well, Facebook
So yeah,
Gaming was already starting. They sort of like merged the two, trying to give
okay,
Facebook Gaming a boost from all
yeah,
the creators that were going to come over from Mixer. But obviously, Microsoft not wanting to appear to turn around to the Mixer streamers and go, aha, right, we've sold Mixer, you're going over here. Turned around and went, okay, you're all released from your contracts, but Facebook's willing to sign you to new ones. we got nothing. See you later. Was basically what, like, from what I've heard of the whole situation from people who used to stream on Mixer, that is essentially what it was. They found out that they had essentially lost their contracts and jobs with Mixer, because when you think about it, you being an affiliate, you being a partner, whatever the established status is for you on that platform, you count as self-employed because you make, you know, your own times and stuff. But at the same time, if the platform goes under, as Mixer did, essentially, or if the platform gets a bad rap, like Mixer did, with regards to a couple weeks before, it had nothing to do with the shutdown of Mixer. They were going to shut it down anyway. Microsoft has already come out and said that. But there was a woman who, I think, or it was a bloke, one of the two. But anyway, there was African American, I believe. Although I don't even like using that way to describe. It was a member of the staff at Mixer who was black. Came out and basically said, "Look, this is what's been going off behind the scenes. Blah 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 blah." You know, whistle blew the whole thing of being treated like shit basically by higher ups in Mixer. So obviously it got a bad reputation. So a lot of people didn't want to be there anyway. And then when they tweeted out, "Oh, Mixer's going in like a month or two," or whenever it was, like, you know, June. I think it was a month later because I'm pretty sure they tweeted it in May. Pretty sure when they turned around and went, "Oh yeah, Mixer's going in a month's time," that was when the streamers who were partnered, were affiliated, whatever the equivalent over on Mixer was, found out. Which is no way to ever handle business. Like, let's face it, Twitch isn't probably going to have that happen, but you would expect that if you're an affiliate or a partner, at the very least a partner of Twitch, that you would at least get an email to say, "Look, we're closing down the site on this date. If you want to keep making content like you are currently doing, you need to find another home for it, you know, because on this date it's gone." But Mixer didn't do that. So, to be honest, I think a lot of the creators over there probably that have moved on and either come to Twitch and built up and, you know, took off, or gone to Mixer, or gone to YouTube, gone to Facebook with Mixer, or gone to YouTube, you know, have just built up on, and I think they've had a lucky escape personally, because I think if Microsoft is going to, or Mixer as the officers, you know, because it's a subset of Microsoft, are going to behave like that in a sense of cancelling the platform, I think it's going to be a very much a situation where you're not going to want someone like that in charge, you know what I mean? Kind of like we always say, Twitch doesn't very much communicate a lot of things. They're trying to be a lot more transparent now with something we're going to get onto in a moment. You know, coming out with these articles telling us what their plans are and stuff. But at the same time, if you didn't get that, you know, notification from Mixer, I personally, if I was one of those that moved, I'd be like, okay, I've had a lucky escape, because now I haven't got these motherfuckers in charge of the platform that, you know, I'm streaming on or creating content on. So that's just my way of looking at it anyway. And I looked at it from like that point of view from the moment I found out that was going to happen, and the moment I found out that creators had not been notified prior to the tweet being sent out. Piss poor management, as far as I'm concerned.
Basically, the tweet was their way of letting everyone know.
Yeah.
At the same time,
there's not just letting the
yeah,
viewers of Mixer know, they let the streamers of Mixer know exactly at the same time. It's like, no, if the streamers are on, like, I can understand if you just started streaming on there, you haven't got no affiliate or whatever the equivalent is, you haven't got partnership with Mixer. I can understand you finding out through that tweet. But if you are a Mixer partner or the equivalent, should be an email that was sent out. Do you know what I mean? And there wasn't. So, like I said, for me, if I was in the shoes of the creators that moved, I'd be like, yo, thank God we got rid of those piss poor people in this industry. And let's move on and build up elsewhere. At least now, like, say if someone come, I think Wiggy said he came over from Mixer a couple months before the whole collapse of it.
I think Cardboard Man as well. He started with Mixer, then when shit hit the fan, he moved to Twitch.
But I think a lot of them should look at it personally and go, okay, we've built up a place now to where if Twitch was to turn around and go, all right, we're over in a month's time like Mixer did, you could potentially, like, you've built up your following, do you know what I mean? You could turn around on Twitter and go, okay, this is where our new home's going to be, and then link them to YouTube, Facebook Gaming, whatever, wherever you decided to take your content, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But then also you could do a stream on Twitch to say, look, I've had this email, or Twitch has tweeted this out saying the site's gone, I'm fucked. We're not fucked. We're going over to such and such place. You know what I mean? But yeah, moving on. Twitch being more transparent. Obviously we covered, what was it called a couple weeks back, Kit? Patch notes.
Yeah, last week it was patch notes. The week before.
The week before.
What was it? Episode...
No, it's the week before. Yeah, it was the week before last.
Yeah.
It was the week we had chaps on.
Yeah.
We covered that they're doing like a podcast thing. Every Thursday. First Thursday of every month, right? Kit? Is that the...
Yeah.
And then obviously on there they would be talking about...
I can't remember if it was the first or the last. One of the two. I'll find it somewhere. I'll get the right information from somewhere and I'll get that too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was first. I remember you saying it on the podcast when we had chaps on. But anyway, they were basically going to talk about things that they're implementing on Twitch, you know, different like global emotes and stuff like that, what they're getting rid of, and it's just overall giving us information. Is it last? Okay. Alright, they're giving us information on what they're doing with the site. So one of the things that they did tweet out, when was it? 2 days ago? 3 days ago? Because obviously they tweeted the link to this blog post out, is that they are changing how subscriptions work on Twitch.
Well, they'll still work the same, but they're changing how they're priced.
Yeah, they're changing how they're priced. So when you think about it, if you look here, the US dollars $4.99, right? Now, for those who don't know, we have to get a minimum in our, backlog, whatever you want to call it, of $100 to actually receive a payout. Whatever we get paid out has to be over that. What is it? Fresh mark? Yeah, that threshold. Yeah, over that threshold. So how it would work is, let's say I got $100. That's £80 typically for me, right? UK. So you'd think about it, and you'd think, oh well, $5, probably looking about £4, £3, maybe £3.50, give or take, a pound from £4. For a sub, but no, it's $4.99 here as well. So how they're basically doing it, and it's, from what I've heard, it's like 100 or I think it's 100 or 120 for a tier 3 in Mexico, which is where they're starting, one of these countries that they're starting this from today.
Started from today, yeah.
Mexico and Turkey, they're gonna have local subscription pricing starting from today. So, like as it says here, over the few months, we'll be adjusting the price of subscriptions, existing subs, new paid subs, and gift subs in most countries to better align with their local cost of living. First up, Mexico and Turkey, which are home to creators and viewers who have been passionate about this change for some time. You know, they tested a bunch of things with regards to. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but long story short, is they don't want to take away the most important thing to take away here is that subscription prices in the vast majority of countries outside the US will be lowered. The full list of impacted countries go here. Obviously, you can click the link. And viewer subscription price will be based on where they live and have set up their Twitch payment method. So they designed the pricing model to ensure that prices are appropriately set for viewers and where they live. For creators, this means that some viewers in their channels may see different prices. So obviously, you're from Portugal, I believe you said one day, Kirby.
Yeah.
So yours will be slightly different because you're on the euro to us.
Yeah. For me, still $4.99. So they're basically making the difference.
Yeah, so the thing they basically said is they want to make it more accessible for people to be able to sub. And so you can't just turn around and go, oh, like, well, not that you can't turn around, that, you know, that you don't feel like you're paying through the teeth for a sub, because you're paying the same as, you know, the US. When in actuality, you're actually paying more because, you know, they just go flat $4.99 everywhere. But yeah, so one of the things that this is probably going to lead to is a lot more people being able to sub and gift subs and, you know, help communities out in that regard. But at the same time, there has already been tweets I've seen from partners saying that this hasn't even really gone live at the point these tweets were sent out, but saying that their payouts were slightly less than what they expected, and blah 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 blah. And long story short, Twitch is saying that they're going to actually like cover the difference, right, Kit? Yeah, Twitch will cover the 100% of the baseline channel and Prime sub revenue if needed.
There's a slight catch to it.
Right, go on.
So what Twitch is hoping is that the lower price will get more people to sub, right? So that in the end, the price for each sub is less, but because you got more, you still get about the same amount or more than you would already be getting from your viewership, right?
So say if you have
fairly well expressed in the clause that they've got as to like when they will pay the difference. And they say, where was it? Twitch will cover 100% of baseline channel and Prime sub revenue if needed. So that's like, they'll look like the past 3-4 months, look at about how many subs you're getting compared to how long you stream and how much you're getting from that. And then if you fall below that baseline, they'll, you know, cover it. If that amount below is caused by the difference in pricing. I think that Twitch need to be very, very cautious here in that, specifically when they've mentioned the new tier 1 prices. Because, and here's the thing, right? So it's $4.99 in the UK for a sub, right?
Yeah.
The new tier 1 price in Turkey would be $9.90 or 9 lira. So just shy of 10 lira, right? That's about 84 pence on the current exchange rate. Right. Now what you don't want, and here's my point, in that particularly here in the UK, there is at least one forum with a lot of people who will do almost anything for a bargain. including making sites believe that they're in another country, using other countries, like addresses in other countries with a virtual card, so that like it's not tied to their home address, and using like other countries' virtual stores, so like Microsoft Store UK or Microsoft Store US or Microsoft Store Turkey, because the prices will be adjusted to what people can afford. But that also means that you'll have someone who would normally have spent just under £5 on a sub in the UK, only spending £1.
Yeah.
And it means that whoever they're subbing to will only get £1. So they get the benefit, but they're not really supporting in the same way that they would have been.
It would have been a little bit cheaper.
By quite a margin.
I mean, yeah, they've got to be careful with shit like that. But
if they can figure that out, this isn't that bad. Especially with them saying,
think
if
as
you
well,
fall
what
below
you
your
was-
baseline, they'll cover it for the first 3 months, I think it was.
to give an example then of what you were trying to say with regards to Twitch's hope is that lowering the price per like country will encourage more to sub, and therefore you either end up with the same or more money coming in. To give an example then is, right now, if I have 10 people and only 5 of them can do a sub, I'm getting £25 basically paid into Twitch. I won't see, actually like 50% of that probably. But doesn't matter regardless of as an example, only 5 of those people can afford to do the sub. They pay in £5 each, that's £25. And let's say the new pricing model, it does go down to £3 a month. If I can get, if all 10 of my, regular viewers can afford to pay that £3 a month, then they're going to make £30. And that's just off the other 5 people being able to pay that £3. They can't pay that extra 2 because of, money constraints, whatever. People have lives and shit outside of Twitch. Completely understandable. But at the same time, that's essentially, to give an example for anybody listening and watching who doesn't really get how that works. I have said this to companies I've worked for umpteen fucking times when they've said, "Oh, how do we get people to buy more of this thing?" It's like, well, how much does it cost you to make it? And they're like, £2. It's like, well, sell it for 3 instead of selling it for 5. Like, more people will be able to buy it, and you're still making a profit off of each one, but then you're also,
you're shifting more of them,
shifting more of them, therefore increasing volume that you're putting out, therefore increasing the profit that you would have made on the whole batch, if you will. So yeah, I think personally it is going to be a good idea. It's whether the prices will sort of work like that, whether they will drop enough to have the people there to make up the difference. Do you know what I mean?
I think what they really need to be doing, and here's one of the things, is when they look at, like, I don't know about every country, I would imagine most of them have a similar system, but here we've got like the national minimum wage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're over a certain age, when you get paid, you have to be paid a certain amount per hour. If they were able to base the cost of a sub on that amount, you go, okay, well, let's say we want someone to be able to sub in the UK for a third of whatever their minimum wage value is, and do the same for other countries to make it so that it's affordable everywhere for about the same amount, so that it's the same hit to everyone's budget across all of the countries. And
Sounds like that's what they're
going
to try and do here. Yeah. Kirby, what's your thoughts? Do you think it should stay the same as it is? Are you happy that they're doing this? You think it's going to increase?
It is.
Now that you are an
It is.
affiliate, do you think it's going to increase like the amount of people you personally get come through, or?
In terms of amount of people, you might get a increase in terms of gifted subs and all that because of the difference in prices. It
Mm.
might work out. Yes, bring out more people and give subs,
True.
sub to the
True.
channels.
You got a valid point there. If it's staying $4.99 wise in the US, and it
Yeah.
comes down to like £2-3 here, I personally
Or-
myself am more inclined to gift subs to my US based friends in my channel. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I can
Now
hit
here's
targets. And stuff.
here's where it gets a little bit complicated. Like, uh, the I would say the problem where I don't say a problem. Like, while we're streaming, we don't. Our viewer base might not just be, for example, you trap. Your viewer base might not just be only from the UK. Might be
Mhm.
from the States or Australia, Canada, whatever. The world is big. Here's for example, the States is gonna stay the same, right? So there you might not get more revenue from that part. But go for another country where the price is lowered, you might get more people from that. That's where it gets complicated. And the difference in revenue at the end of the month as well, they're gonna have to adjust to that because people might not get happy for making a certain amount of revenue, and when this comes in and that revenue lowers, it might take a while for it to catch up. And yeah, like Kid said, Twitch is gonna have to play their cards right here for this to work out.
Mm.
But for me personally, I wouldn't mind it to be done like that way. It will probably bring out more people, and it will be a good thing. But yeah, now they're gonna have to do everything decently for this to move on, so they don't have any problems moving on with this. Yeah, that's basically it for me, at least.
Well, I think we can move on to the chants
Yes.
then, as I've only just noticed that was
Yeah.
in the doc. to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, while we're talking about what Twitch is doing, we may as well squeeze this one in. Yeah, I didn't notice this until just after we started, so that's why it was just sort of squeezed in. Real
Okay.
quick, one of the things that was brought up on their user voice was chants, and they had like things. So basically, this is like the streamer or one of their mods can run /chant and then some text, and it's basically just like predetermined or pre-allocated or pre-allowed sort of spam. You're just like, okay, everyone chant this now, and you just click that button and it'll send that message from you.
That's cool.
And then
That-
basically you
that
can
is.
copy and paste it and spam it, or
No, so instead of them saying, okay, copy and paste this and then spam it or spam this in chat now, they'll run this command and then you'll click the button instead of copying and pasting and sending the message.
Yeah. So it's a more controlled spam, basically.
Yeah.
Like a fun thing to do. You know what? Fuck it, spam this. Sorry, can I swear?
Yeah, you're fine.
Because yeah, I swear a lot. Seriously.
yeah.
But
no.
yeah, no, it's a fun
Wait,
command.
did you
like.
just one sec? Did you just ask if you can swear whilst on my stream? Have you been here before? I
No,
swear
like,
every other
it's your-
fucking sentence,
Listen,
dude.
it's your podcast. You might have different rules for your podcast
Hell
than when
no.
you're streaming.
If I have to censor myself for the podcast, like, is there any point in me being on it? Like, is there any point in me doing it? No, there
True,
isn't.
true. Exactly.
Like, this is supposed to be like a chilled out conversation. We just talk amongst ourselves. If people want to swear, swear. If they don't, don't. Like, that's the way I see it.
Don't be disrespectful.
So yeah,
That's it.
just don't do the shit that I wouldn't expect you to do anyway, which is, you know, racist shit, misogynistic shit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
but yeah, carry on.
Yeah, in terms of this type of command, it's a good implementation. Seriously, I was not aware that they had this though.
Yeah. So right, we're done with that one. Yeah, you wanted to squeeze that in, Kit?
Yep, that's successfully squeezed.
Okay. Twitch takes away biggest hot tub streamers' ability to make money off of ads. God.
Yep.
Why, Kit? Do you have to bring?
Right. No. Right.
Wait.
The point that I'm making here is that Twitch are taking a stance in the saying that not all of the hot tub stream content is safe for advertisers. So maybe they should be taking another look at it and going, okay, some of this is clearly outside the boundaries. They're very, very on the very knife's edge of the terms of service.
Yeah.
Maybe that little grey area that they're using as a loophole, they need to tighten that up.
Exactly.
And this could be the nudge they need.
And another thing that I noticed that the streamer in question refers to in one of her tweets. Well, in this case, I wouldn't say it's a big problem, but later on, it could become a big problem because she said that she had the publicity turn off or she had the advertisements suspended from her channel without a prior notice, and she was just notified after it was done. That's where it kind of feels like a little bit what was happening with Mixer, but okay, it's just this case.
I mean, to be honest, as Kit said,
at the moment, from what
it's a controversial
case.
Yeah, but it's like you said, Kit. It's a grey area, right? Because Twitch needs you for advertisement purposes to not be flashing, certain areas of your body. Yeah, you wouldn't expect a male streamer to be sat there stark bollock, naked, showing off his junk, right? Just like you wouldn't expect a female streamer to do the same. Like, fair enough, you want to sit in a hot tub and stream and talk to people, like, okay, but at the same time, you're in quite clearly from setup and stuff. You're in your house, right? You're in a room that you've specifically set up for this task. So the way I've looked at it is, by all means, go ahead and do your own thing, do your hustle. People are dumb enough to pay you for basically sitting there and chatting to them. Like, for one, those people are on the wrong side, in my opinion. But you do you and make your cash. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. But at the same time, look at when Cardboard did it. He could have wore some. He didn't do it actual in a hot tub. It was it's kind of like a meme sort of thing. He bought a My Little Pony paddling pool, or child's pool as they call them in the US, kiddie pool, and sat in it. And every 5 gifted subs, because he's sponsored by Advanced GG, he was dumping a scoop of Advanced GG in the pool. Became a whole funny thing. Somebody said how many gifted for you to drink some of the pool water. He said 100. Someone smashed a fucking 100 gift subs, so he drank some of the pool water. But he did it as a meme, right? But he could have wore, some swimming trunks that were tight as out and shown off, more than what they should have. And he didn't. He wore He wore some shorts, and he even said to chat. Yeah, he could have gone with a speedo. That's my point. But he wore some shorts and even said to chat, if you see, a nut slip, let me know, because I need to sort that shit soon as. Because he doesn't want to, show off his junk, probably to a degree of privacy for himself, but also because he knows Twitch sees that. Bye channel, right? And wearing something like what a lot of these hot tub streamers wear, it only takes you to move in the wrong direction way too fast, and bye channel. And I'm not gonna go, Something's gonna slip out. You know what I mean? And arguing, oh well, you can wear a bikini in a fucking hot tub. Okay, yeah, most people probably will wear a bikini in a hot tub, but that doesn't mean you need to do it whilst live streaming. You can wear an actual swimming costume, that covers everything. Yeah.
You know that you won't
The
get
reason, the reason,
accidents.
and the reason they're doing this is because the way of that they're approaching it. The way they're approaching it isn't oh right, well, this is something I want to do. What it might be, but it comes off as they go, okay, well, sex sells, so fuck it, let's go. Do you know what I mean? And there are gonna be people who, we had it a couple weeks back. Emery did the whole test thing. Do you remember, Kit?
Yeah.
Where she increasingly wore more revealing clothing to see, and in different categories on Twitch to see where differences were. And she said that more often than not, people don't want to see the more revealing thing, and so they fuck off. And so the influx of new people coming in is just replacing the people who have left, because they're like, well, you're not exactly what I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch you play this game as you, not Twitch barely on the lines of TOS, so clothing wise. So there are going to be people that are just potentially like doing what Emery did and testing the waters to see, okay, does the whole booby streamer thing actually exist? And then you are going to get over the male, like a lot of the male streamers that are going to look at this as, oh, these motherfuckers are stealing my viewers. Mate, they weren't your viewers to begin with. Like, viewers on Twitch are wherever the viewers want to fucking go. If I'm streaming Destiny and Kirby's streaming Destiny and Kirby's got 10 viewers and I've got 2, there's a reason for that. It's I'm not being fucking entertaining and Kirby is. Get the fuck out of here. If these motherfuckers are doing the because it's not just females, just obviously female ones are more popular because of the demographic of Twitch. These motherfuckers are sat there at 100 to 400 to 5,000 viewers. It is not because they have stolen your viewers. It is because they are being, in some capacity, whether it's just sitting there barely wearing any clothes or chatting with the chat, they are being more entertaining than you. So you're sat there with your 2 fucking viewers going, oh, these motherfuckers are stealing my... No. Right? And the thing I will say on this, the last thing, my personal opinion on this sort of thing is, in my opinion, the whole hot tub meta, as it's being so called, as it even says it in the article, stemmed from a loophole, in a sense of, they talk to the chats, play games, or perform other activities, right? I haven't seen any personally. I haven't heard of any that play any games, but there might be. So if I go into the Destiny directory, for instance, I don't see a hot tub streamer at the top. Do you know what I mean? That's my point. So I don't see someone who is in a hot tub playing Destiny streaming it. But
I have to say,
I think it's a loophole in the sense of, when it comes to being in, a category. So if you were to be playing Destiny and sat in a hot tub, do you go into just chatting? Because, quite obviously, for the most part at least, the main focus isn't going to be the game. Yeah. Or do you go into the Destiny category because you are playing Destiny? And then so there's like a kind of a loophole. So they go into just chatting and do this because there is, no like hot tub because Twitch wasn't designed for this. And I think Twitch sort of needs to take a stance on it. Yes, obviously you can see from the picture that's on this article, total sub goal 23,000, and they're at 20. This streamer here is at 21,800. So Twitch is making a shit ton of cash from these people, alright? But at the same time, do you want to give them their own category that is like not safe for work, and you have to be signed into an account that's over 18 or whatever, whatever you need to do to sort of protect minors from this sort of content, because there could potentially be some sort of slip up that leads to some sort of sexualization? Or do you just outright do what it seems like they want to do with regards to taking the ads away from this particular streamer and like get rid of it? Because if you want to get rid of it, either flat out take the ads away from all of them and not just one, or issue a statement saying you're not happy with it, you're going to email all the creators that are doing this and sort of give them a warning. If they carry on doing it, they're gonna get banned. Do you know what I mean? You need to they need to sort of decide in themselves whether they want to incorporate this as part of Twitch, like they did IRL streams, because IRL streams were part of Justin TV, and then they fucked off when it became Twitch because Twitch was all gaming, and then they came back with IRL podcast, cooking, and there are audiences for those categories. They need to decide whether they're going to make this its own category, or
I think they probably could, because if it's got a discrete audience, it should have a category.
Yeah.
And
that's my point. They need to either make the decision of making it a category or getting rid of the whole thing, because otherwise you're just going to end up with a load of these people I was talking to a minute ago when I said about complaining about these people taking away the viewers. No. You're going to get all these disgruntled streamers, and that just encourages more people to create troll accounts, and then you're going to get more trolls. The fact that in this picture right here, underneath biggest D, which is cringe, to be honest, sub goal, she's got ban appeals, like, kind of shows you they already get like trolly people. And I've been in we talked about it a few weeks back when I was in Favored. I've been in Anne's chat when she's in Just Chatting, and trolls come in causing shit, objectifying her as a woman. Like,
no, that's not being trolled. That's just being a pure asshole.
Well, yeah, but my point being though, they need to sort of Twitch needs to put something in place that can better protect people, like the creators essentially that go into Just Chatting,
Yeah.
or into this category if they made it a category.
So I just want to bring this back to the actual article. Here was obviously she lost the ability to monetize, and I don't know if you remember, but in episode 10, I brought up in the back end of the API, they were looking at a brand safety score, which was then scrapped. If they'd been more careful about handling that, could that be useful here? Because obviously what they've done is gone, okay, the current run of ads that we've got aren't going to be comfortable running their ad on this kind of video, so we're not running the ads at all.
Yeah.
But there would be some advertisers that would.
Yeah, because I was going to say, at the same time,
you can go, okay, in this, put it on a scale of like brand comfort, and they go, okay, well, these ads we can run on this number. but we can't run them
Yeah.
on there, but we can run these ones.
But I was gonna say I've been going into Anubis's stream sometimes, like on the way to pick my kids up from school. Yeah, and what should come up but a fucking ad for Durex, condoms. Like, okay, I'm going to pick up my 2 kids from school. Probably, applicable to me considering I'm only 28. Right? But I digress.
It's either applicable now or the ad is way too late.
Yeah, that's my point. That's the joke I was trying to make. It's a bit late.
But yeah.
But it's an ad you wouldn't expect to see on Twitch going into a gaming stream. Maybe a just chatting stream or some sort of, if they did have a not safe for work category, then you could see it. But I don't know. I don't feel like a lot of the ads are 100% like relevant. Do you know what I mean? So like earlier I've been seeing adverts for things that I'm like, I would never even bother to fucking like go and check that out, so why am I getting this advert? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the time when I've been seeing ads on Twitch, and that is because I only really watch it on my PC, is that I'm getting ads for games, and it's usually games that I have already played. Because I don't look for other things, so a lot of my searches and stuff are about games that I've already played. So the only information they've got is like, oh well, they're interested in this game, let's advertise this game.
But yeah.
And that's not on Twitch. But the other thing I was going to say is that if they did do like the category, or there'd be like a separate category specifically for this, or like a not safe for work category or whatever, or even if they do bring back that sort of like scoring system, that would open Twitch up potentially to different kinds of companies approaching them to run ads.
Yeah. This is my point as well. Like, when I was on about if the companies I've previously worked for, I've said, sell it at a lot like, a loss in comparison to what you're trying to sell it for, but still at a profit, and you will make more money in the long run. Like, I didn't actually get a qualification for it because it should technically count as an AS level, but I did A-level business in college. Yeah. So for those who in America, college for us, like your college is the equivalent to our university. But prior to university, you have like 3 years of what we call college. My middle year of college, I did business. Like, I did a business qualification. I know, like, how to make, a profit quite easily. And the problem is nowadays is a lot of companies are trying to make the short-term profit. So they're trying to go, okay, this is costing me £2 to make. I'll charge a £5, £3 profit each one. Boom. But your customer base might not be able to afford to pay £5 for the product. Or they'll look at the product and go, that's not worth £5. I'm not buying it. And fuck off. You've lost a customer. Now, if you turn around and went, that's costing me £2 to make, I'm going to sell it for £3, I'm making £1 profit, you get 3 people buy your product, it's cost you £6 to make, you've made £3, and what? The 2 people, let's say 2 people weren't going to buy it, you have made the equivalent in profit from 3 people buying your product to 1 person buying it if you just sold it at £5. So where's the difference? You've sold 2 extra products. Oh, wow. Then word of mouth gets out from the 2 extra people that bought your product. Oh, this is a good product. Go and buy it. Boom. More people buy it. More people buy it. Blah, 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 blah. You make shit tons more money than you would have done. It's the same thing. I know how these companies, like, so Twitch, like I said, go bring it back round. They make a not safe for work category, as you said, Kit. They can approach certain advertisers, adult sites, adult toy manufacturers, whatever it may be, and go, look, we have a not safe for work category. We have or an 18 plus category, if you want to call it that. And we would like you to, advertise on there. Is it something you'd be interested in doing? Like you said, Kit, more companies, more advertising, more money for Twitch, more money for the creators. Boom. Everybody's a winner, essentially. And who knows? One of the people that you might see on there, like, let's for argument's sake, go to the whole, stereotype of this particular type of female streamer will only attract, horny teenagers and horny men that want to, do whatever in the background. Maybe if they had their own category and Twitch sold advertisements for some adult toy manufacturer, maybe they sell more, toys because the viewer base has seen the toy advertised on Twitch. It's like, ooh, you know what? That would actually be useful for me. I'm gonna go and buy it. Do you know what I mean? Like, the problem is they're thinking short term, and they need to be thinking long term. Amazon, when they bought Twitch, were thinking long term because they're like, this is going to be the new media. Snap it up while it's fucking cheap.
Thank you, Tret, for that great insight to profitable organisations. Let's talk about not-for-profit now.
There you go, non-profit.
Non-profit charity orgs, right? So, Games Done Quick, the summer event, they've revealed the schedule. They come round. Well, I think it was twice every year. One in summer, one in winter. Might have more. Might have like seasonal ones, 4 a year. And they do raise a lot of money for charity. This time they're doing Doctors Without Borders,
which is only, I think, makes sense after what we've had going on the past year and a half, roughly. Yeah. Like, personally, that makes perfect sense. There's doctors all around the world that have been dealing with the pandemic, and if they can give a charity like Doctors Without Borders some assistance in helping those that will need it, then good on them.
Yeah, and we do all love a good bit of speedrunning. What was interesting about this one that caught my eye actually is while you do have a lot of typical things, you've got all E007 speedruns, a lot of stuff on the NES and the some older PC games that's got a big speedrunning scene already. One of the items was a Deepstone Crypt run.
Really?
Yeah. It's not until like the 4th day.
But that'd be funny.
Yeah. So anyone who's interested, that'll be on the Games Done Quick Twitch channel between the 4th and 11th of July.
Do you know what? Just because it's actually linked here in the article, let me get it up so we can give a little bit of a short, promotion thing. There you go. If you're interested, literally Games Done Quick, all one word. Go and check it out. Thoughts, quick, on this one, Kirby, before we get into the Destiny stuff?
It looks good. I'm kind of interested in the Deepstone Crypt run. See how fast it would be. Either that and the blindfolded Super Mario 64 run.
It's one of those things where they do it so often that they know all the tricks and they know exactly how to line up their controller.
That is taking muscle memory to a whole new level. The amount of hours one needs to spend training your fingers, your train of thought to be able to pull this off is mesmerizing. Like, goddamn.
Here's the other thing though, right? They are doing a Deep Stone Crypt run, so Destiny is included, but
Yeah.
it's scheduled to take place between the 4th and the 11th of July. That's 2 months from now. We'll have had VoG for nearly 2 months.
We'll have a VoG speedrun as
And-
well, probably by the time.
And this is the thing. People will probably be less likely to be interested in a Deep Stone Crypt run. And you can practice VoG now. You know, you can practice Deep Stone as well, but obviously. So the only thing I would assume is they are doing that on PC. Because otherwise, I think they
it's
would.
on PC.
Yeah. As I would assume they would go and, oh, you know what? VoG has just come out for Destiny 2. Let's go and speed run it. When it's on Destiny 2, we'll speed run it, but let's go and practice it now on whatever platform, you know, Xbox or PS4. Alright, but
Yeah, because for Destiny they might have a category for each category. Category? Ah, sorry. My English sometimes goes.
But
Yeah, they might have a different part for each for PC, PS4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, the new Xbox. I don't know. Never been a big fan of Xbox, but still, it'll be fun.
But yeah,
It'll be fun.
speaking of Destiny, and
Now comes the fun part.
yeah, firstly, this video, I saw it. I'm just going to play it in the background as we're...
Play it, yeah. So what I was going to say is, if you're listening on the podcast platforms, about now, I will give you an audio description.
2, 3, 4.
But yeah, long story short,
5,
I saw this, and I was just like, oh my god, this poor guy.
6,
Yeah. I was like...
I do like how I do like
I
do like the
no, we
edit
can't win like this. We can't
in the
we can't
video
win
from
like that.
Jay.
No, I'm leaving.
Overrated.
Betrayal.
Where
We left in time. I
he
think we
puts
left in
above
time.
his camera, I hate myself,
You
and he's got his
better not
head in his
dude.
hand.
You better
Like
not
you
have.
can tell he
No,
hates
we lost.
himself.
Loss has been
But then
forgiven.
he then tries to
Yay!
leave
Woo! We gave him a win.
and say,
That was a
you
roller
know, we're
coaster
not
of
winning
emotions.
like that.
The fabled
And
5
one of his
threes.
teammates tries
go.
to kill the opposing guardian
1,
to get the
2,
win, and he goes,
3,
"No, we're leaving," and
4.
left. So, like partway through,
Have
where is it? Like
Betrayal.
30 seconds in, you hear the betrayal from Halo. That's where his teammate kills the guardian,
left in
and he's
time. I
like,
think we left in time.
"No," because he wanted to leave,
You better
give them
not
the
have,
win
dude.
as
You
a
better not
sorry
have.
for, you know, trolling the fuck out of your final
Ooh.
player with stasis,
That-
but he does get lost forgiven on his trials card, so he knows that they actually got given the win.
That,
'Cause he
that
left
was no
early enough.
trolling. That was bullying. That's what
Well,
it was.
yeah.
You can even see the enemy the first time that he gets frozen, he tries to get out. The second time he just gives up because he knows like there's no escaping this. Just keep on freezing me, do whatever. I'm not gonna do anything. You just do your thing.
But one thing I do
Oh,
want to point out as well, though, is although he's done this with, you know, Stasis Super, Stasis Melee, the new Stasis Sidearm, etc., etc., he does say, in all seriousness, embrace the memes. Stasis ain't going anywhere. Hopefully some big nerfs are coming, but until then, embrace it. If you need to take a break from PvP, do it. But don't take it too seriously. Your sanity will thank you. And that's essentially what I've been trying to say when I've jokingly put in Odys's chat, I've jokingly put it in Solidus's chat, you know, Lee's chat. Hashtag boycott D2 PvP. And I've been saying, like, look, I'm playing Apex to scratch my PvP itch. Like, I've not had fun playing PvP, so I can only play it when I'm in a squad. Like earlier today, I was playing it with Otis and a couple of the Just Wipe It crew. We were doing Iron Banner 1, obviously for the pinnacles and shit. 2 for the quest. 3 because we needed what's the fucking thingy for the key codes? Ether. And currently Crucible is the most efficient way to get that.
Okay.
Yeah. And because basically what it was is we did a bunch of overrides. We got through all our keys, and then I think it was Crisscross turned around and went, I need more keys. To which Otis said, yeah, me too. And I was like, I needed one last run, like, because I didn't have as many keys as them. They were like, fair enough, let's go and do some Crucible. We'll go and just play some Iron Banner. But yeah, so then we were just having a laugh, not taking it too seriously, but also at the same time, you know, the typical plays and words of, oh, this fucker's lagging, or why? How did I not kill him and shit like that? Like, obviously that's gonna come out, but none of us were getting too, oh, fuck this game, like piss off and that sort of shit. Do you know what I mean? There was a odd occasion where I died and I was like, piss off, because I got annoyed that I didn't kill the guy when I should have done. But the way I look at it is exactly what Jay said: is if you don't enjoy it, don't play it. And that's what I've been doing. I think Lee said it perfectly on his stream the other day when somebody was coming in complaining about stasis and in PvP and not being able to play PvP. Is like, if you don't enjoy it, don't play it. If your friends aren't enjoying it, tell them not to play it. And slowly but surely, if everybody who's not enjoying it turns around and goes, I'm not playing it, the likelihood is you'll get more and more of the hardcore community just leave from PvP. Yes, there'll be casuals there, and they might see a drop in numbers from the hardcore leaving, and then once the casuals realize, oh, all the sweat lords have left, sort of thing, the numbers will bump back up. But Bungie will notice because of the difference in numbers. Do you know what I mean? And maybe then they'll actually go, oh, okay, we need to change something. So that's the way I look at it. Is if you're not enjoying it, don't play it. I've always enjoyed Iron Banner, so I will play it. I will play Trials if there's a new weapon that I need to chase, like there was the SMG. I'll play it until I've got the bounty done and got the SMG, or 3 wins, or both, if I'm feeling it that day. But for the most part, I won't like put myself through it personally. You guys?
Sometimes PvP doesn't feel like it's worth it. Other times it does. Like now here comes the question about getting changes for PvP, and I've come up with a sort of theory about why we haven't gotten any changes at all in the past couple of years, at least. The main thing will probably be because Bungie is right now working in the new game.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is, since they're working in this new game, probably I wouldn't say a major part of the Bungie team is working in it, but at least a good amount of the team is working. And another thing that comes to mind is that, if I'm not wrong, the new game is going to be mainly PvP, right?
Yeah. We'd looked at, based on some of the job postings in previous episodes, that it looks like it's going to be, they're looking to like esports shooter kind of thing.
Here, that's where comes a part of us in Destiny not getting a improvement in terms of PvP, because if not the entire PvP team of Bungie, or a majority of them, is definitely working in the new game. But okay, most of us probably don't think about it because Bungie hasn't said anything in terms about that thing, about this point of view, sort of. Because if they're doing it, That's why you haven't seen any progress or any updates in a good way to PvP. Mostly we have seen we got stasis. Stasis was broken. We got a couple updates to fix it to level it up a little bit.
Well, even then,
No
that's not really.
big improvements. Yeah,
That's
it
not
just got a
really
bit of
a
a life
patch.
quality improvement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not really a patch and a change to Crucible as was a game
as it
mode. That's
is.
changed to a sandbox, which is a different thing. But
Yeah, I was going to say that's a separate
speaking,
team, and that leads us into the next point. Thank you
yeah,
for mentioning.
I was gonna say, speaking of new things added to Crucible, a thing that's been going around the past like week, maybe two, is potentially having like a seasonal map, right? So imagine, if you will, um, season of the hunt comes, you get a map that's sort of based in the Hive Ascendant realm, um, where you it's like off in the distance from where you fight the High Celebrant in the mission for the season of the hunt, right? Um, and then season of the Chosen rolls around. You get a new map, and it's based inside a Cabal tank, or on like some point in the tank, essentially, right? So you get to see all the moving wheels and the boulders and shit that we see in the Proving Ground Strike. But then like there's like the big open room, like tank room. Probably put some more pillars and stuff in, so it's like there's cover and shit, or some walls or whatever. Put some access elsewhere, you know. But the point is, it's themed around the season of the Chosen, right? Or like the Strikers. Um, and then this season with Season of the Spicer, we've got this, you know, retro 80s Vex simulation that we keep like invading with Override to go and take out the subjugated mines and stuff. If you imagine there's a PvP map with this aesthetic, and then next season there's another one that's related to that season's, you know, and you just make the map, you leave it in the game because they took a shit ton of maps out when Beyond Light came out.
Yeah, because of the planets that were swallowed by the darkness.
Not only because of that, it's because they just didn't like they didn't play well. They looked at the statistics and stuff because if planets that had been swallowed, maps were taken away, you wouldn't have Wormhaven because that's on Titan. You wouldn't have Pacifica because that's on Titan. You wouldn't have Burning Shrine because that's on Mercury. Like, there's a bunch of maps that are still in the game that are on map, and the whole thing is, oh, it's a simulation, you know. But I think personally, that's what something, even just that, like one map a season, is throwing the Crucible a bone and saying, look, if the theory within the community, what you just said in the past topic, Kirby, is true, and they have moved either the entirety or like 75% of the PvP team, Crucible team, over to this new game that they're doing, then at least you could turn around and go, okay, right, well, Bungie could turn around and make it out like they're doing the Crucible a favor. It's like, look, we're giving you these new maps, one every season. It's going to be tied to the season's theme. We're going to continue to do this going forward, and we'd like you to know that our next game that we have the majority of the PvP team, the Crucible team from Destiny working on, which is why we haven't been doing, you know, any major things with the Crucible. Is, you know, working on another game, and so we want you to know that that other game is going to be more PvP focused, and so if you know, enjoy Destiny's PvP, please use these maps, as essentially like I said, they're throwing the Crucible player base a bone, the PvP player base a bone, and saying, look, these maps are going to tie you over until the new game comes out, and then hell, if you all like the new game, move on over, and who knows, Bungie might turn around and go, okay, well, Crucible's basically dead now because everybody who enjoyed it has gone to the new game. Let's just completely get rid of it. Because I can almost guarantee you that Crucible's probably taking up quite a bit space as well within, stuff that they could throw into the content vault. And you think about it, if they throw Destiny stuff into the content vault and the new game is anywhere similar to Destiny, like, they could just pull things out of the Destiny content vault, redesign it to fit the aesthetic of the new game, and go, well, there you go. And Call of Duty comes to mind. What did they do with Firing Range? Firing Range was a Cold War based map in Black Ops 1. They brought it back, they did it up, they made it a movie set in Black Ops 4. They've done it with a whole heap of maps in Call of Duty. They keep the layout the same, but they bring the aesthetics up to the new game.
I don't know. I lost track of how many they'd done for Nuketown.
Yeah, they've done loads for Nuketown. They've just released it as Nuketown 2077.
Nuketown is basically the icon for Call of Duty.
And that is why they keep re-releasing it and making sure that people can keep playing it on whatever game they choose.
Yeah. I've played a lot in Nuketown, and I really don't know what people see in that map. I cannot play in it.
No, but that's my point, though. They could do that. If the Crucible, all of a sudden, when the new game came out, because all the Crucible players turned around and went, yeah, this Crucible, fuck that. But this new game, the Destiny's, I don't know, Destiny Crucible could be, let's say its own game. Just as an example. They're not going to be calling it Destiny Crucible, but let's just use it as an example because we haven't got a name for it. Right? This Destiny Crucible game, this is great. Let's go and play that. And then Bungie can turn around and go, okay, right, well, the Crucible player base for Destiny is gone in Destiny 2. We're just going to get rid of the Crucible. It's going into the vault. We're saving space on the game. We can make more PvE and Gambit focused content. Because people don't realize it, but they also took away Gambit maps, like the Dreaming City one. But anyway. And then you look at it that way, and Bungie could put that section, essentially, of the game into the content vault, right? And then they could go, okay, right, how can we use this? Even if it's like taking the maps and just redesigning them, because they can't pull them from the vault and put them into this new game because it's a different system or a different engine or whatever. Okay, fair enough. But you could rebuild, because they have access to the DCV whilst they're working on things in there, do you know what I mean? In-house in Bungie. They could open up, I don't know, Burning Shrine, for argument's sake, right? Because obviously in the example I'm giving, it would be in the DCV. They could open up Burning Shrine and go, okay, right, how can we make this work with the new game? Okay, this, and this. All right, maybe the new game doesn't have the revolving doors and instead has, lasers coming up and down that periodically just block people from walking through, but you still have a line of sight. It changes the map enough to where people don't get bored of it, but people who have played Destiny's PvP go, oh, this is Burning Shrine, but it's different.
Yeah, it's a twist.
And so that's just something that they could do. Again, going back to what I said earlier, I have ideas that people could fucking use, and they would probably make a shit ton of fucking money of it. But speaking of making a shit ton of things, and I mentioned Override earlier. Yeah, Kit, that was a stretch, but I think I made it work.
Just a bit, yeah.
There is essentially a loot goblin in Override that if you could, are lucky enough to get it to spawn, it will drop and kill it. It will drop you
25 extra
Yeah,
decrypted data.
there you go.
Or was it
25 extra
encrypted
data.
data? I don't know.
But DMG says the appearance is chance, and it comes and goes as it pleases. Data chances increase. Data spikes increase your chance to dunk away. But there is somebody in this thread that I saw earlier. I think it was actually underneath, but they theorized that it's killing all the goblins before you actually start the boss fight. So before you go to the thingy and tell the boss that you're here. They did 25 runs and they've got it 25 times with their team. I did hear another thing of if you do all of the data spikes in the actual override activity. So you go in, you kill the champion, you grab the data spike, you come out of the portal and you dunk it. You do that every time the portal's opened and don't miss a single one. You'll get it to spawn. Once I said that to KK, Chris and Otis earlier, and we did that in a run. Obviously we're two randoms as well, but we got the fucker to spawn. So I don't know how it works, but I think there is a way to get it to guarantee. And DMG with this comment is sort of trying to go, oh no, it is completely random. Like we don't want you to farm the fuck out of, decrypted data, because that will basically mean that you don't need to run extra overrides.
Yeah. I did like the choice of words he's got there, though. Is that it comes and goes as it pleases.
Yeah, I did think that was quite funny. But yeah, like, I honestly think, this is an attempt at misdirection, personally. I think there is a way to guarantee it to spawn, but they're not telling us because they don't want to give us the, there you go. There's the comment I was on about. Found a way, it spawns 100% of the time, my team does it, killing all the goblins before starting the fight. All 25 plus times I've done it, the goblin has spawned. So when you go into the final boss room, there's always goblins that are sort of like appear to be praying to the mind. If you kill all them first before going to the White Tower, and activating the boss fight, supposedly. But yeah, let's move swiftly on.
From things that we don't know to things that we do, I'm pretty sure everyone by now knows that the energy accelerant mod had been disabled.
Yeah, it's broken as fuck.
It was accelerating all of the energy and not just some of it. It was supposed to work on a specific subset of explosions, so it's like your Firefly, your Dragonfly, your chain reaction. It turns out it was working on a lot more than that. So like Sunshot, Telesto, what's the scout called?
Polaris Lance?
The Arc one.
Oh yeah, Polaris Lance.
Oh, Symmetry.
And Polaris Lance as well. Symmetry. That's the one. It was working on a lot more weapons than it was actually supposed to be.
Yeah, there's the Symmetry.
And I bet it all started with Telesto. Because Telesto always breaks the game.
It always starts with Telesto. Telesto breaks the game. Look. There you
It
go.
Even says here, starts and ends with Telesto.
It says here, look, God has witnessed Telesto create chaos in the Crucible before, so this is not surprising for many veterans. Destiny 2 players can often count on Telesto to break the game in one way or another, from cheating the blind well into Forsaken to buffing its damage in the season's blind. His repeatedly game-breaking weapon that seems to haunt the developers at Bungie. Yeah. It's literally you hear something like this where, oh, okay, we've had to disable this mod because it's broken. And you go, okay, let me guess. What broke it? Telesto? And then you just go, yeah.
That's what they should
do. You know what I
do.
mean? Like,
Bungie should do that before they launch anything new. Like, hey, listen, I got this new thing. The question should be always, does Telesto break it?
Yeah.
If it does,
100%.
That is- it's sort of like the test. It's like before a patch goes out, it's like everything we put in this patch can tell us to screw it up. It's like I always enjoy joining a raid somewhere more. If when like they say hi to me, like if I follow or sub or whatever, they say my name right.
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
because for
it's
anybody
not
who
a name
doesn't
I
know,
chose
it's
in this.
Kitsune.
Yeah, Kitsune. Rather than Kitsune
Yeah.
or other variants.
Or the shorter and easier version, Kit.
Kit, okay, Kit I will accept because that is, it's what people go with. It is easy to, it is easy. It's like a nickname. But
Yeah.
if people read my username and read it wrong, I'm sort of thrown off a little bit. I was like, okay, do I really want to stick around? Like, I get it. It's not everyone knows how every
It's
word
like-
is supposed to be pronounced.
It's like
But it's just,
earlier.
I'm more inclined to stick around if they go, okay, they know.
It's like, okay, earlier, someone I was watching, Greek God, Mr. Greek God, one of Coty's like teammates for ALGS, right? He raided somebody, and obviously I went along with the raid, and I turned around and it's like I've got too many people on my following list already, right? So I'm like, unless I am explicitly enjoying the fucking vibe that you're putting out, I'm not gonna follow. I need to stop just blindly following and going, oh, I'll come back and watch you later to find out whether I enjoy your content, and if I don't, then you're off my list, sort of thing.
But chances are what's happening is you come back later and go, oh, they're live, I'll watch them. Instead of going back to watch the person you follow to figure out
Yeah.
whether you need to unfollow them or not.
Exactly. And then after a while, they play a game that I'm not familiar with, and I'm like, why the fuck did they even follow you? And I just go in and unfollow them. So, but yeah, so I turned around and went,
So
okay,
I
I'll
suppose
go
it's
along with the
better for
raid. And
them.
so I went in with, Mr. Greek God's raid, blah blah this, that, and the other. And he went in tweepis. I was like, dude, like, I thought trap's fine, and then he didn't even acknowledge that. So it's like, all right, yeah, I'm out of here already, and like, fuck that.
Like, okay, I could kind of forgive him if he said it wrong, like, because I don't know if the guy's person, I don't know if the person has some kind of speech impediment or not,
Mm.
But for you to go, Trep's fine, and them not to acknowledge it and go, and then use that, you've given them an out or something that they can use to interact with you more easily.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Also,
just didn't.
Also, the reason why, if you look at any of my like avies, the little like pictures on Twitter or Twitch or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, the reason the in is in red and the dus is in red and the trep is in white is because then it's me turning around and going, look, this is what you can call me
This is the
if you
bit,
can't
yeah.
say my name. It's like
Making it easy.
yeah,
to
it's
do
making
it.
it easier. Like, I understand there's gonna be different accents, different ways of saying things, different words. Like, some people don't even know what the word intrepid is, and all that intrepidus is an extension of that, which is it means fearless in Latin. Like, so the way I look at it is somebody in, I don't know, Malaysia may never have encountered that word or intrepid as the base word, right? And so I'm like, okay, fair enough. But if, like you said, Kit, if I turn around and say, okay, trep's fine, then I'm expect that you're gonna turn around and go, okay, thanks, Trep. To the point where most people just know me as Trep now anyway. Like, I go into Lee's stream and everybody goes, yo, Trep, what's going on? And nobody bothers to at me. They just put Trep. Do you know what I mean? So, alright, I'm getting conscious on time, so let's move on to the TWAB real quick. Is there anything in particular meaty if you had to look through at all, either of you, before we
I
start? on a quick
haven't really had a
skim
quick
through?
glance through it yet. So obviously we've got the Volta Glass prep
Yeah.
taken up the top. Okay, here we go. Crossplay beta.
Ooh, where's that?
It's literally like right
Wait, there we
straight
go.
away after. Yeah, there we go. We got the unfiltered taste of crossplay, even caused by a bug. Players moving between platforms, which was awesome. Indeed, it was. It was actually really fun. Formally invited to the crossplay beta serves a short, sweet, and important moment in the development of this feature, May 25th to May 27th. Okay, Vanguard Strike playlists will be available for crossplay.
Also, a unique,
Fantastic.
kind of like they did with the event that we had, Guardian Games. Going to be like a separate node, right? That's
Yeah.
how I'm reading that. Wicked.
So this, what we
We
had
can
before
get
was just crossplay. So I was playing with somebody on another platform. This is to test their matchmaking across platforms because that
Okay.
wasn't in yet. That wasn't what we caught a glimpse at. So if this goes well, brilliant.
Right. So when's that? 25th to the 27th.
25th to 27th.
Mark your fucking calendars, beeps. Because we need as many people as possible taking part in this fucking beta. We need to give them as much information as possible, is the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
As
First
much data.
couple of days after reset.
At least for PvP, it'll be a great addition. Not for PvP, never mind. Ignore the PvP part.
No,
PvE.
PvE. But that's what they're going with first. They're testing it with regular strikes first. And the emblem's not terrible either.
It is.
Yeah. So one of the things I actually was talking to Sneak about this, in like Civic's chat, and then we moved it over to Whispers on Twitch because like there was a bit of a like misunderstanding or something. He said something about like cheaters in, obviously PC lobbies. He said something about Xbox, like a console hosting it, and I'm just like, I just turned around to him and says, listen, they turned around and said, even if a console player is host, if a PC player joins them, it's not going to put them in console lobbies, it's going to put them in PC lobbies. So they need to sort out anti-cheat. They need to get rid of cheating in some capacity. You'll never get rid of it completely, that's impossible. But the point is,
you need just enough of a deterrent that it makes it not worth their while.
Yeah. But he was trying to say something along the line, like the way I was reading it at least, I don't know whether it got lost in translation or whatever. Because I know he's from, one of the, kind of like you, Kirby, he's from one of the countries in the mainland of Europe. So I don't think English is his like first language. No knock on him at all, but I think it kind of got lost in translation in the sense of, at least how I was reading what he was putting back to me. And if you see this, Sneak, like, again, no knock on you, I'm not trying to like call you out or anything, but the way I was reading it was he was essentially trying to say that because a console player was hosting it, it would use the console coding, Microsoft's coding or PlayStation's coding for the matchmaking, and therefore the cheaters wouldn't be able to get in because they're on PC's matchmaking or whatever. I don't know exactly, but that's what it was trying to make it sound like. Because the console was hosting, it would mean that there wouldn't be no cheaters. And it's like, no, it's not as simple as that, because you're working on Bungie's server. He's got more coding.
They could make it.
He's got more coding experience than me. In fact, when I first found out he did the whole exclamation point clip that you can do in my chat, he made that. I turned around and said, "You will get on swimmingly with Kit," like, because you both got that background.
So what I was going to say is that if they're able to isolate the cross-play matchmaking pool to a single playlist, right? What's to stop them isolating it to, like, if you're in a cross-play fire team, you have to be in a cross-play matchmaking.
True.
You can't just go, oh, Xbox is host, so I'm only playing with Xbox players. No, you're in a cross-play fire team.
Right, so
fair game for anyone.
Here's the thing. Now, before you ask, the cosplay beta will be restricted to a match-made activity. You won't be able to form fire team just yet, and you won't be able to send invites to your friends. We're specifically targeting our matchmaking systems as we prep for this feature next season. You know, I kind of paraphrase
And that's
that
what
bit
I
like
was
this.
saying before, is that like they're just testing the matchmaking now because through the inadvertent release of thing, they know the joining's working. They know the
Yeah.
servers will hold it.
Yeah, so it's basically essentially what they're saying is if, like, for argument's sake, you or me wanted to play with Yokai, who's on Xbox, we'd have to just click the playlist at the same time and hope
And
that we
hope
get
for
into
the matches, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, hope for the best. Basically, like how we used to do
but
before we had.
at the same time as if we wanted to play all three of us, me, you, and Yokai, then we'd all three, because me and you won't be able to make a fire team and then go into that. That's how I'm reading that anyway.
No. Me
But
and
what,
you would be
me-
able to go in as a fire team.
Okay.
But what they're saying is, unlike before with the little sort of sneak preview, you won't be able to form a fire team with people on other platforms to go into this.
Ah, okay. Alright, fair enough. I mean, it's something we can test anyway. It might be how I'm reading it. It might be.
That's my interpretation anyway.
The question is, yeah, and now we need to think. Do we have to go alone, or we can still matchmake? Like you were saying, you, Kit and Trap matchmake together. You guys get together and go into the better matchmaking. See if
But yeah, I think it's gonna be like, one thing I will say is it's gonna completely revolutionize the game in the sense of, like, you will see people like, for instance, Amaze and Danfinity, right? They go onto the other platforms to do like raid helps and comp helps and stuff like that, right? It's going to revolutionize it because people like Pigeon, he has to currently turn around and go, anyone want to join? We're on D2 PC, mind. Like, do you know what I mean? For right now, he has to say that. But 2-3 months down the line, if this actually gets released in season 15, because it still says further up here, it's targeted. Our current goal is for crossplay to ship in season 15.
yeah.
Alright.
Look, if it's to this level already and they're testing matchmaking, it'll make it to season 15. It might not make it for the start of season 15.
But my point is, they will not need to go, okay, I'm on PC. I will, legit, I will take PC out of my titles. Because the only reason I put Xbox or PC in my title
It's so that people know
is
that
so
if they're
people
on that
know
platform
coming
and
in
you know, yeah.
that I'm on that platform, and then they can come and play. If not, then, they're not on the platform, then they can just watch, sort of thing. I still put it in for Apex, just because people might come in, see the controller buttons at the bottom, and go, oh, you're playing on console, okay. But I'm not, I'm playing on PC, do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think it's honestly going to revolutionize that portion of the game, the helps and stuff. I want to get into doing, raid helps and stuff, because obviously I did it back when me and you were in the Legion kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you will probably agree that was when I was probably playing the most Destiny I've ever played. Since you've known me, at least. Is back then when I was having all these people to help out. So, we covered this last week. Prime gaming rewards. If you haven't picked them up, go and pick them up. And then obviously go to Amanda Holiday to actually get them in game. We did have a hot fix on Tuesday, but this is.
And we've got another one coming on Tuesday the 25th as well. It's probably going to come with a new playlist, to be honest. That's probably how they're going to squeeze it in. But we're also getting some bug fixes. The the new pistol will get its catalyst progress fixed. So it won't take it from energy slot weapon kills, it'll take it from its own kills.
Okay, so get that done as soon as fucking possible.
Yeah. Presage will give Pinnacle like it's supposed to.
Yay. And clearing.
And they fixed energy accelerant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then also
And
clearing
doesn't
8
work on
mountains.
players.
Pinnacles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Energy accelerant fixed.
It will be on Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody who has bought energy accelerant for the purpose of using it in Vault of Glass, reset your artifact and buy something else. And then reset your artifact on Tuesday and get energy accelerant back. There you go.
Yeah, because it won't be available till Tuesday, will it?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you won't have it in Vault. True.
Yeah,
Oh well. We've got some known issues and stuff.
yeah, they're getting some issue. They're going on about VoG's World First Release. Fire team. Right, there you go. If a fire team cycled through different members during their attempt, the final 6 remaining upon the completion of the final encounter of the challenge mode activity, where at least one member of the fire team claims the tempo's edge, triumph will be declared the winner and awarded the world's first belt. So for argument's sake, we've got a team going in from Just Wipe It. If everybody leaves except Otis, and then we get a whole new team essentially in, but Otis claims the thing, and we are just so happen to be world's first, then Otis.
And it'll be the 6th that
It'll
finished
be
it with
the
Otis.
6th,
It'll
yeah.
be the 5 that finished with Otis and Otis.
Yeah.
And not the ones that started. Or, for example, like, I intend to be part of the team, but if for some reason I have to step out because I get, like, completely drained about 20 hours in or whatever, then I won't get the thing, but whoever came in to step in for me would.
I've basically turned around to Otis and them and said, I am aiming to be up and ready to go if they need anyone by 10 a.m. our time, which is 5 a.m. Eastern. So, yeah, if any of you die out in that point, if not, I'll just be watching along, helping out. Hey, Muppet Babies parody won movie of the week. I saw this.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. So I shared that myself. I did vote for that. You've got art as usual. Alright, what's this? Wholly redacted. This is redacted. Excellent. What? Okay. I think I'm just reading. How many times do we have to teach this lesson, Atheon? Okay. Right. Let's go. You know, because that's the end of the 12. I'll just get rid of that.
Yeah. That can go. Here we are with the overlay. And that wraps up pretty much everything that we wanted to discuss.
Kit.
Is it my turn, is it? Okay.
It's always your turn. I taught the most through the podcast. You can at least do the ending part. Come on.
Okay, I'll take the ending part. If you insist, you insist.
We will win. I don't know if you guys noticed. We just had a perfect moment. As you said that the podcast was coming to an end, in the background of Kit's mic, you just hear the music. I think it's for Looney Tunes or something. The end music for Looney Tunes. That's just like in the background, like the perfect moment.
That's brilliant. Right, well, thanks, Kev, for coming on. It's been a joy to talk to you and get your opinion on a lot of these things. I'm glad you liked it as well. If you know, is there anyone that you would want to see on the podcast in future episodes?
I would say, like, who could come next? Probably, I don't know if you guys have had Cardboard Artman come in. It'll be interesting.
We haven't. I don't. He's not on the list either. Holy shit! How did I forget that? He should be on the
I
list.
think we should get him on the list. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I agree. That'd be good.
Yeah.
And if we did ask you to come on again, maybe if we did like a group of guests, would you work for that?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Just let me know
coolio.
when.
Cool.
Just say when, and I'll be there.
Hey.
Wonderful. Speaking of there, well, I really don't know where we're going with this. Right, Trev. Who are we going to see?
I was gonna say, well, firstly, I want to like echo what
Well,
Kit
yeah, as
said,
you are. Okay.
as I always
Yeah.
do. Thanks Kirby for coming on in and coming to chat to us. As Kit said, it was a lot of fun. I always try to like squeeze a few laughs, even if I do rant a bit as well.
It's always good to have a laugh.
Yeah, but trying to look, who are we gonna see? But yeah, like it was
I need
great.
to switch mode because I can't even see who's live.
But yeah, it's like a bit different. We know this, like the podcast is more a chat. People can get to see your opinions on topics that we choose, and then sort of see if they have a vibe with you that they enjoy, and maybe they come over and like. So the whole point of the podcast is sharing like communities that we've built up with each other, sort of thing. Me and Kit to share with like you. Get people to know you so that you can sort of grow. There's like rising tides raise all ships, hence the rising light, because it's obviously based upon partly on destiny. But that being said, I do believe we can go and see Relictus, who's playing Apex.
Ah, okay.
So
That sounds good.
this is going to be the end of the YouTube video anyway, right here. So I'll just say this right now. Thank you very much for watching. We appreciate you for coming and watching it, but also listening on the podcast platforms. Kit sorts it out, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
As you.